difference between agile and project management? Uh, well, first of all, agile project management is an oxymoron. So the two are separate approaches. I really much prefer the terms empiricism and plan driven because that sums up the two different approaches, right? So, an empirical approach is one that comes from the Greek meaning to learn from experience or learning by doing. We do something, we get some feedback, we do some more. And empiricism, transparency, inspection, adaptation. Everybody knows what's going on. We inspect regularly, we adapt. So, agility gives us that ability to maximize the value delivered, heading towards a goal while managing risk. So, it allows us to deliberately manage risk and respond, adapt quickly while regularly delivering value. So if that's agile, what's project management? Project management's been around since the pyramids or probably earlier. And that is where we have a planned approach. And you can see it come through in the language of project management where we talk about people as resources, which is a pet peeve of mine. Just replace it with the word minions, meat widgets, right? What are my meat widgets doing today? And just think of yourselves like, somebody there cracking the whip, be a slave driver. It's just terrible. And this is where there's often a focus on time, cost, and scope. It is milestone driven. It is plan driven. So once you've received your project initiation document and your charter for your piece of work, you will then go through a phased approach: analysis, design, build, test, deploy. Each one of those milestones is associated with a deadline. Now, milestones, like this is, we're going back some because milestone comes from the Latin mille, 1,000. Every 1,000 steps, the Romans put a step marker when they were building roads. That's where the term milestone comes from. Distance is predictable. Distance is certain. Complex work is not certain. It is unpredictable. Things will happen as we are developing the answer, as we're stepping towards our goals that will require adaptation. Agile has this baked in. Aha, I hear you cry. Project management has it as well. Yeah, I know. You can do change requests in project management. How many times have you seen your project come to a screaming halt as everybody has to go away and prepare the response to the change request? It is not included in the process. And whether we're using Scrum or Kanban or XP, that regular refinement of our options, what are we going to do next? This is our broader plan. This is our wide plan. What's our short term plan? What are we going to do next? What's the most important, most valuable thing we're going to do next? Well, let's do it. Hey, we need to move things around. No problem. That's the whole approach. It is not stop the line, everybody get in a room, we're going to have to do the reanalyze. And anybody who has used the tool like Microsoft Project has probably got that sheer terror of when you have to press the F9 button to auto level your project and you save it under different names and you have 3 different backup copies because it makes an absolute dog's dinner of your Gantt chart. And so it may work in some circumstances, but there's a reason that even manufacturing, which is relatively complicated, verging on complex, they use lean principles to allow for adaptation and change rather than relying on the strict project management. So fundamentally, agile is based on the principles that we know things are uncertain, that we will need to adapt, and that's baked into the frameworks. Project management is for work that is more complicated, where there is more known than unknown, and where we will need to line things up in advance. And that element of predictability means that that is a suitable application for the problem space. Understand your problem space, use an appropriate technique for that problem space, deliver business value. It's not a dogmatic war. This isn't some sort of religious debate. It's like, what problem space are you in? Use the right tool. You can put a screw into a wall with a hammer, I wouldn't recommend it.